The morning after, we're back. The OG duo of the show is back after a insane weekend. I mean, just loaded slate of games, a lot of crazy outcomes. This is honestly going to be just an elite day for the Sleepers channel in general. The previews, the recaps, and previews are going to be going insane. But you get to start your morning with us. No better way to start it. Dion, how was the weekend?
It was good. Listen, a lot of people aren't going to talk about the fact that I'm here right now and I'm here early. A lot of focus on when I'm late. I just want to make sure the focus is there when I'm here in the morning too.
Yeah, can confirm. Hopped in the StreamYard at like 9:54, and Dion was dialed. He was ready. He was in here.
Always locked in.
Rick, my guy, missed you too. Missed you, man. Go. Why are you down bad, Purdue? He's a Purdue guy, right?
Yeah.
Just want to make sure I have that right. You'll be all right, which is actually like perfect place to start. Big Purdue program here. What are your thoughts on? I mean, there's just no other way to describe it. Saturday was a bloodbath. What are your thoughts on what happened?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Saturday was a bloodbath. I think if you're gonna lose, I guess get your doors blown off. That's to say. I don't know. It's very clear to me that Purdue has matchup issues with certain teams across the country, and I think Iowa State's one of them. Really, really big physical guards. They can handle their own inside as well. Most of the team can step back and shoot. Here's the thing: Purdue's defense isn't very good. We can do like the Jakari Harris, CJ Cox stuff and like pretend like there are otherworldly defenders. Or we can tell the truth. And Purdue's defense isn't very good. And when they play against teams that have an elite defense the way Iowa State does, and they had that elite level of physicality the way Iowa State does, I think it's tough to get stops on the other end. You combine the two, and I think that's kind of what you get Saturday. You kind of get a blowout. Purdue has not to make a football comparison, college basketball show, but not to make a football comparison. Purdue has a lot of Detroit Lions to them, where it's like the defense is like kind of good, I guess you could say, and they're gonna have moments, but like no one really fears that defense. And if the offense can't score, you can get blown out very easily.
Yeah, no, the Lions comparison is perfect because like the defense is decent, but they're also not designed to win a 17-14 game. That's Purdue. Like if they're playing a team that is going to keep it slow and low scoring, like that stylistically just doesn't work. Like I mean,
Yeah, right.
I just never thought, and I know you didn't either, because the bet that was or the tweet of the Purdue's not scoring below whatever number you said again, and then I mean I just never like them scoring 58 was crazy, and I know Iowa State's really good defensively, but I also think that speaks to as good as Iowa State looked. Like it was like the offest of off nights or days, I guess, for Purdue, which is caused by Iowa State taking them out of rhythm, but Purdue's going to be fine. I mean, I know, like, yeah, they lost by 23, but also it's one game. Conference play hasn't started yet. Now their conference is insanely difficult, but I don't think this is a panic button on Purdue type of thing. They've got seniors, leaders, good coach. They're going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah, listen, everybody's gonna lose games. It is what it is, right? Like no one's coming into the season anticipating going undefeated, right? Like everybody's going to lose games. But with that in mind, like you have the 31st ranked defense in the country, which isn't bad. I think that's plenty good for a team like Purdue, who's probably going to have the best offense as well, right? That's where the Detroit Lions comparison comes in, where it's just like they don't have to have an elite defense. It just has to be like good enough. I think Purdue's defense is good enough, but you're also going to run into some matchup issues like and Iowa State and Milan Momcilovic. And that's a team with top 10 offense, top 10 defense too, by the way. Like that's just, I don't know. You got to tip the hat to Iowa State. It was a matchup nightmare, and Iowa State kind of paid to pay for it.
Yeah, no, this is just a combo of like Purdue's going to be fine. They played a bad game. Iowa State's also really good. Like, I mean, Purdue's also got like a perfect lineup of bounce back spots here. They go like Minnesota, Marquette, Auburn, Kent State. Fine.
Yeah.
They're going to absolutely smoke Auburn, by the way.
They're going to be fine. I think I'll be honest, I think that Michigan game is going to be pretty tough for them.
Michigan's a tough matchup for them. The front court aspect makes it very interesting.
Yeah, I think that Michigan front court is going to cause Purdue a lot of issues. Now, it is in Mackey. That's why I still like Purdue because of that factor. But I mean, Adam Hansen, Music 8989 said Big 12 criminally underrated this year. I don't think so. I think everybody's called the Big 12 the best conference in college basketball. I think the Big 10, after the season started, may have overtaken the Big 12. But coming into the season, I feel like everybody was really high on the Big 12. And Iowa State's like one of those teams that's like the faces of it. Obviously, they aren't talked about as much as like the Houston, BYU, or Arizona's of the world, but I think Iowa State's just as good as any of those teams. Pickle Rick said, "Can we get G to ask Braden about Michigan and MSU punking Purdue like he asked Carter on today's pod?" G, what?
So there was a part of the pod where it's kind of what I was talking about before we clicked record. Towards the end, G was like, "Cart, we haven't discussed this, but there's a world where both of our teams just absolutely punk Purdue. What happens if that happens?" I believe that is what Pickle Rick is referring to.
Oh, so he's saying they should ask Braden what Braden does if they punk Michigan and Michigan State?
I believe so, if I'm interpreting correctly.
Oh, okay. Oh, I mean, asked him about Braden or Jeremy Fear, so I would assume like they probably will ask him about that when the time comes. I mean, they don't play again until what, February? So I'm sure when the time comes, they will ask Braden that most likely.
Oh, the Michigan and Michigan State Purdue episodes are going to be very special episodes of Running Point. Speaking of Michigan State, second game of the day that was happening at the same time. It was more low scoring, two elite defenses. Duke goes into the Breslin Center, 6-point win. Another just insanely impressive win for the Blue Devils. This one could have went either way, but like at the end of the day, Cam Boozer was always eventually going to figure it out, and he did in the second half, per usual. What did you think of this one?
To be completely honest with you, what I thought about this one was I kind of just I felt like Duke didn't play that good. To be honest with you, I'm still waiting for like a really good Duke performance. Like, I mean, Cam Boozer didn't have a field goal in the first half. They won the game. They went into the Breslin and won, and that's like really impressive. But to me, like I left thinking, wow, Duke's way more talented than Michigan State. Like this shouldn't really have been a close game, but Michigan Stated and kept themselves in it. And honestly, Michigan State probably should have won this game. I just don't think Duke's played well yet. Like Archangel Music said that's scary that Duke still hasn't played well yet and still winning. I agree, but I don't know that I think Duke's actually gonna play good. I think part of the reason I don't want to commit to like we're gonna get the Duke performance that I'm waiting for is I don't think they have a point guard, and I think that's why we haven't gotten a good Duke performance. They don't know how to control flows of games. They have to play to the other team's speed. They don't really get easy looks for themselves. And for those three reasons, Michigan State, like Pickle Rick said, they make teams play not good all the time. That's just what they do. That's just what they did to Duke as well, but it's really easy to do that when the other team doesn't have a point guard and they have to play to your speed of the game. So I don't know. I like the performance from both teams, to be honest with you, but I don't think Duke really gave their best punch.
Yeah, I mean, my issue, it's like Michigan State's thing that you see is in a close game like this, like who's creating and taking the last shot? Like it's Jeremy Fears from a perspective outside of scoring wasn't bad, but like you can't go 0 for 10. And I know that like everyone was on Twitter talking about, well, not everyone, Cart was on Twitter talking about how he still had 13 assists, whatever. And I get it, but like if you're not a threat, and he is a threat to score sometimes. Trust me, I watched him against my team in Fort Myers hit an AM 1-3 and a freaking fade away from the elbow. Like he can score sometimes, but Duke is just so good defensively. They made it difficult. And like the fact that both of these teams shot sub 40% from the field and from three is crazy. And I also agree with like the Duke point you made. This is the thing. Because we saw it in this game, we kind of saw it in the Florida game. Eventually, people are just going to keep doubling Cam Boozer or whatever in clutch situations. And they're going to keep relying on Caleb Foster. And eventually, he's going to turn into Caleb Foster in a big moment again, and he's going to miss. Like, he has been making some big shots, but like 60-57, Fears late doubles Boozer. Boozer kicks it out. Foster hits a big three. I mean, if I'm Michigan State, I'm living with Caleb Foster taking that shot every day of the week. So I don't know. I mean, it's very interesting, but I just literally, Duke is just, they're just so elite defensively, man. Like they are so hard to score on.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? Like part of the reason they're so hard to score on, part of the reason they're so like elite defensive, they're so Kate busy, we up now, is that they don't have a point guard too, right? Because they play Caleb Foster at it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's one of those situations where like it affects you positively and negatively. And I think it's something that you're willing to live with because you have that size athleticism at every other position. So Carson Cooper held Boozer to 18. LOL, they weren't even doubling him. That's not true. That's not true. They were definitely doubling Cam. He also was like 7-13 for 18 points. He made the right play consistently. It wasn't like anybody stopped Cam Boozer from being Cam Boozer. He had a bad half. He had 18, 15, and 5, right? Yeah, 18, 15, and 5 on 7-13. Like, he did what he was supposed to do. He made the right play. And he got rid of the ball out of his hands a lot. That's how you beat Duke, though. Like, Michigan State fans shouldn't be mad like that we're saying that. That's how you beat Duke. That is the formula, and the formula nearly worked and honestly should have worked. So, I think it was a great performance by both teams. You just had a Duke team who, like, with all due respect to Michigan State, is way more talented. They're just way more talented. But Michigan State's way better coach. They have a system that works. They have the second best point guard in the country, bare minimum, and they make you play Michigan State style of basketball, and that's really hard to beat.
Yeah, it is. I also think with Michigan State, eventually, I'm waiting for it, and I feel like it's going to happen. Someone in the comments says Jordan Scott the answer at the 2. I feel like one of the shooting guards is going to emerge eventually. I'm not saying they're going to emerge and be great, but like they're going to have a guy at the 2 eventually. Don't know who it's going to be, but like Kurtang was pretty much unplayable in this game. If they can actually get anything at the 2, I mean, that's when it gets interesting. But I do also want to give ups. Like this man, Jackson Kohler, is shooting the hell out of the ball right now. Like, I think Greg tweeted he's turning into Joey Hauser. So funny because, I mean, he has a I mean, he just has an absolute clip now. You cannot leave him open. Also, Nick Boiler Force says MSU versus Purdue on a neutral right now. Who wins? I still think Purdue, not worried about them. Shooting numbers made that game look worse than it was. I agree. I think Purdue would beat Michigan State on a neutral.
On a neutral, is it played tomorrow? When is the game played? When's the game played?
That's a good point. Also, let's go Duke, says the Caleb Foster. Hate is real with this red shirt, dude. See, that's classic let's go Duke type of behavior. You're living with Caleb Foster taking that shot every time. I'm sorry. It's just true. Like, who else do you want taking it? You're not letting Slim take it. You're not letting Kaminia take it. You're not letting Boozer take it. Caleb Foster is the worst starter on the team. That's just an objective fact. That's not hate. I'm not saying he's like trash, but like, who else are you living with shooting it? Because I mean, there's no one else on the court you're going to let shoot the ball.
No, I agree. Nick Boiler said the game's played right now. I think if it's played tomorrow, I think I like Michigan State in that game. I think Michigan State has a little bit more figured out than Purdue at the moment. But they don't play till February, and they play Mackey. By the time we get to both those points, I think Purdue's the much better team.
Yeah, that's honestly, there's so many Big Ten matchups that are going to be like just insane watches.
That's really one of them for sure. I mean, I think. What do you think of the FU Boozer chance? Actually, everyone keeps bringing it up in the chat.
I mean, I don't know. I see both sides of it. Obviously, the crowd chanting FU Boozer, nothing wrong with that. That's just classic, like the crowd's going crazy thing, road environment. I feel like no one cares that Fears gassed it up if Michigan State wins. Is that crazy?
No, I feel like it was an issue. Like the moment he did it, like on Twitter, like I remember that, like it being like a problem, like the whole time. I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't see, I really don't see an issue with it in my gut. Like I really don't have an issue. I don't even necessarily have an issue with Fears gassing it up necessarily. I just feel like, I'll just be honest. I think it'd be an issue if somebody else did it to Fears. So, that's where my issue lies. Like, I don't think it would be. I think if Mackey does it, I think State fans would be up in arms the same way Duke fans are up in arms.
Yeah. See, my thing is I don't. It's not even about like the fans thinking it's right or wrong. It's to me just like it's pure stupidity. I'm a big proponent of never poke the bear. You chant FU Boozer and he cooks you in the second. I mean, that stuff like if you're gonna chant FU to someone who like can't go get 20 and a half. Like it's just stupid. And
I mean, to be fair though, you're never gonna do that. Like,
yeah, no, that's true. But I'm just a big proponent.
You're never gonna chant FU Caleb Foster. Like no one cares.
But I'm just saying, like. I mean, chant like FU Shire or something. Chant it about someone who can't play. Like, don't chant it about the best player on the court. That's just not smart. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a good look just because a lot of times when stuff like that happens, you either see a coach of the home team or like a player on the home team telling the crowd to stop doing it. Mm-hmm. So Fears trying to like get people to keep doing it is not the greatest look. And
yeah, but like why? I don't know. It's such an interesting thing because I don't have an issue with it, like me, the individual. But I know like college sports culture, that's a problem. And if another team did it to Michigan State, it would still be a problem. But like who cares? Like other than if you have a kid in the arena and you have to like explain to your kid what FU means type of thing, like I can understand that being a problem, but like we say they're kids all the time. And to an extent, these dudes are kids. To another extent, that's 10 grown men on a basketball court. It is what it is.
Yeah,
It is what it
see,
is.
I don't think it's wrong necessarily. I guess where I would come from would be like know your personnel and just know that if you do that, it's going to go viral and people like might not like it just because of how college sports culture is. That's the only reason I wouldn't do it personally. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying, like, in that situation, I feel like you kind of got to know in today's day and age, it's getting seen everywhere.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that by any means. For what it's worth, I just think like the the element of know your personnel, know who you're doing it to, like so on and so forth. Like, um, um, I don't think it really like matters. You're only going to do it to the best players. If your fears, you're only going to hype it up because it's supposed to get in like Cam Boozer's head. Like there was an attempt at doing something that like they just weren't able to do because of how good Cam Boozer is. I don't think Fears or Michigan State should be the ones like the fingers pointed at. It's like um Cam Boozer's special. Like that's what it was. Like you know you learn about certain players in those moments, and some players wither, and some players like feed into it, and Cam Boozer fed into it. Tim Johnson said, "Dude, you can't call these players kids that are making a million. Either they can play under crowd pressure and get treated like adults, or you protect them because they're kids. Can't have it both ways." It's literally what I said. So I'm assuming you were typing that while I was speaking. So congrats on that one. But that's literally what I said.
Illinois fans are saints. Shout out my boy Coy DeBrad. Oh, man.
um, for UNC said 100%. Sorry, Big Chief. I'm driving. You good, bro? I just like. Oh, what
Hey,
up, Sleeve?
we do not condone typing in the chat while driving. Just want it to be known. The morning after will be responsible for no car crashes.
Connor said, "Damn, Dion, what I do?" I just meant like, yeah, no, it's just what I said. That's all. I agree with the comment for what it's worth. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I look at it like this, man. Cam Boozer is going to be playing NBA basketball like 9 months from now. Um, uh, is that not going to be being said to him at UNC for life? My brother Dion, what's up, T Spain? Like 9 months from now, is that not going to be chanted to him in every arena for 82 games, essentially, or 41 of the 82 games, I guess? I don't know. Like, I don't see what the big deal is from either perspective. I don't have any issue with Fears doing it. I don't think Fears can do it. And then we can go back and ultimately like poke him for doing it. Like, I think he did what he was supposed to do in that moment, and it just didn't work. I don't really have an issue with that. Tominator said this is what MSU does though, and they'll play the outrage if someone does it to them too. It is what it is. I do agree with that. Like that was one of like the first things I said. Like I think if somebody did this to Fears, we're gonna be like up in arms, and I don't like that element of it. Sleep says I don't think Boozer's game translates to the NBA well. I agree. He'll be a great second option. I agree. Coy says NBA fans don't exist in the regular season. I don't think that's true. I think the NBA and like this college basketball show, so maybe we'll save this for the college basketball off season. There's too much hate on the NBA at the moment with like the 82 game schedule. There's too much hate on the load management element of things. Like, just watch the basketball. It's high level stuff that's going on right now.
I'm a avid League Pass member. Watch tons of NBA hoops. So
it's really, 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 really high level stuff going on.
My least favorite thing though is this notion that people act like you can't like college ball and the NBA. Hate that notion so much. And so many people are like, a lot of people that like college either hate the NBA or that like the NBA hate college. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, I just think that like Why can't you enjoy both? Where's the Duke MSU recap? Says Cato. Not gonna lie, haven't gotten one from Gregor Carter yet, which means special. They're both going to be an hour and a half. Michigan State and Duke, and Purdue and Iowa State. 100% confirmed.
Archangel said NBA no defense, college is better. That isn't true either.
They're just better at making shots.
Yeah. Yeah. I do agree that college is better, but I just hate the no defense notion. Like, I mean this respectfully, like, to both NBA fans who trash college basketball offenses. First off, you just watched Monmouth play basketball, and LeBron's like, wow, there's no shot making. Yeah, it's basically a D2 school, D2 school, Bron. Of course, there's less shot making than the best 300 players in the world. Like, it, and then college fans that say, well, like, they score too many points in the NBA. Sure. Yeah. They're playing against the best 300 players in the world. They don't get to play Arizona State on a neutral. If the Timberwolves got to play Arizona State on a neutral, there would be a lot of defense. I promise. No defense thing is basically what Draymond said about 82-game players versus 16-game players, though. I do agree. Like, the playoffs is better defense, but it's more physical and it's a different brand of basketball. If that's the issue, I could get behind that. I don't like that they play different styles of basketball, college and regular season and playoffs. It should be called the same way the whole way. I do agree with that.
Yeah. Who should be number one, Michigan or Arizona? Who should be number one, Michigan. Who will be number one, Arizona. That's the way I look at it. Not that no disrespect to Arizona, by the way. I think Arizona could easily be the best team in the nation. I just think when you win, like, what is it, 3 or 4 straight games by 40 and you're beating good teams, like, I mean, that when you 40 ball Gonzaga, that's insane.
I agree.
Like, hey, Pickle Rick said Tom Brady sucks. Hey, Pickle Rick, let me drop some lore on you. Mercury sucks. Dashy sucks. Scump sucks. How about that?
I just think there's too many touch fouls in the NBA. They're the best in the world. Let them play. Sure.
Oh, man, Pickle Rick's going to be on a bender now, knowing that I watch a little bit of professional Call of Duty.
Shout out to you, Ride Bush. I think some of these, hold on. I think some of the allure of colleges, you can tell, at least as an MSU fan, these kids play for the name on the front of the jersey. I don't know if every NBA player / team can say that. I guess.
Yeah. I'm sorry for this comment. Champy, Gonzaga is a fraud. Arizona will host slap a bitch again. It's just insane level analysis from Champy.
I disagree with that. I like Michigan in that game. France vs. USA was such a go-to game because they let the boys bang. Pause. But I mean, that's that's insane. But pause for sure. Yeah, I listen. You get the highest level of basketball when they let them play. I don't disagree with that. I definitely don't disagree with that. But I don't know, man. Like, there's just too much hate on both NBA and college at the moment. Very, very high level stuff from both sides of the fence. So I don't really understand it. That's all.
Do you have any like rapid fire takeaways outside of the big 2 games we talked about? What's your other rapid fire stuff you got to get off?
I think North Carolina is really, really good. I think North Carolina is really, really good. When they get Trimble back, I think they're going to be phenomenal. I know that Georgetown game was like a little bit of a slow start, but that's a massive letdown spot after a big Kentucky game. Sleeve said, Dion, how's my Illinois look? Tommy looks back, man. Top 5 big when healthy, too much skill. When he has the back to the basket game, he's incredible. I think Illinois looks good. I was really, really high on them, like whatever it was, like week 1, week 2, of course, of the season when they had a few of those big wins. I think the issue with Illinois for me, Sleeve, and I'm just be honest here, I don't like building a team around Big T. And I think that's my biggest issue. I don't like the way the team looks being built around Big T. I don't know what the solution is to that. Keaton Wagler looks phenomenal. I I think everybody was right about him being a one and done, which is kind of like unfortunate in the same way, because sophomore Keen Wagler would be special. With Mirkovic and all these dudes, I think it'd be phenomenal. Why don't I like a team built around Big T? I don't like a team built around a big man at this point in the sport of basketball, unfortunately.
Unless it's Jokic.
Unless it's Jokic. Because I'll be honest, like, Sleeve, like, I'm not, this isn't me. Like, this isn't a Big T thing. I said the same thing about Purdue. When they had Edie, like I definitely didn't have 3 units on Purdue with Edie. Like I wasn't big on those teams either. I just feel like there's a ceiling when you play through a 7-footer like that with like a back to the basket 7-footer. I feel like teams that can run up and down the court kind of beat you 3 for 2. Illinois looks pretty nasty this year. Top of the Big Ten is so fun. Facts. Illinois is right in that Michigan State, Purdue combo. And anyone that doesn't have Illinois in that grouping, I think is crazy.
And there's no metric on this, but if there was a metric of how much fun I have while watching those teams at the top of the Big Ten, love watching Illinois. They're just so fun, man. Also, like Andre Stojakovic was not good at all on Saturday, and they still won by 13. I know Tennessee has issues. Also, might be time for some Nate Ament discussions here soon. Brutal, but Ulamog, how long is the MSU recap? That is a great question, but I'm just going to say that it's 10:30. I haven't received a video yet, which means that at least an hour and 10 minutes. Rick, I only was avoiding that because we were talking hoops. I will tell you, I was just trolling you with that. I'm an optic guy. Dashy is the modern era goat. Is this guy a Carolina fan? Please say yes. If you're referring to me, the answer is yes. Hashtag alumni season. How do you think Michigan versus Duke plays out in February, Dion?
That's also Sleeve. I do agree that Big T's a little different because he can shoot threes. Don't get me wrong. I think a little different. I see the vision behind it. That's why I'm in on Illinois. It's just not my personal like style that I would run. Michigan versus Duke plays out in February. Michigan sizing, yeah. Connor said it best. Michigan sizing is gonna be really tough for Boozer.
Axel is like the perfect style of. God, I know this is probably going to get the biggest pause, but he's the perfect body type to put on Cam Boozer.
Mm.
I knew that was coming, but it's the truth. He's like the only guy. He's like one of the only guys in college that's got the blend of height and like strength to defend Boozer.
He's the perfect what for Boozer?
But he's Boozer's type.
Pause. Still trying to figure out how Michigan only beat Wake Forest by 1 point. Aren't we all, brother? Aren't we all? I think Michigan's still trying to figure out how they only beat Wake Forest by 1 point. Listen, some teams just play bad against like less opponents. It just is what it is. I think that's the thing. Like we have to remember is like every once in a while teams just pull up and they don't play good against lesser teams.
Oh no, I don't disagree with JJ McKay. I bet Boozer scores more than 18 against Michigan. Definitely think so because like Michigan's team defense isn't necessarily like. Well, I guess it could be, but they have. It's not just the Axel. It's like Merez is 6'11" or 7 foot, or is he 6'10"? I know he's he's tall. Yeah. Adai is like probably got a 7'5" wingspan. Like it's just going to be. There's just going to be a lot of bodies they can throw at him.
Yeah. Listen, it's going to be a true like NBA test. I don't know how many like NBA size wings or bigs Boozer's going to play over the course of the year, which is why I think it's funny where like everybody's like he doesn't have the game that like I mean I agree his game doesn't translate well, but he doesn't have the game for like NBA size. Like we don't know that. I don't think his game translates well just because, like, I don't think he's a number one option. That has nothing to do with, like, the size and everything. I just think he's more Pascal Siakam than he is Cooper Fly or even Paolo.
Yeah, no,
And,
he's
like, low key, by the way, not an NBA pod, and, like, maybe we make it a little bit more NBA centric by playoffs. Paolo ain't a first option either, respectfully to Duke fans. Paolo's a number 2, and honestly, Paolo might be a number 3. Get the ball out of that brother's hands immediately.
Franz is better.
Franz is definitely better, but Franz just tore his ACL yesterday, though.
Yeah, it's
the Paolo show now. Like, I low-key was in on, like, maybe they should trade Paolo.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't believe they were trying to put Paolo in the same sentence as my dog.
Ooh.
Tatum. Not even close.
Irrelevant combo. Irrelevant.
But all right, guys, breaking news. I have officially at 10:32 received the Purdue Iowa State recap from Greg. So in other words,
just the Purdue Iowa State one?
Just the Purdue Iowa State. So in other words, an hour and 20 minutes #loading. Everyone needs to be ready. Rick's going to like it. They're going to be going in depth. It's got to be at least an hour and 15 minutes. So this is going to be a great day for the Sleepers fans.
Well, let's pull it up and see how long it is.
All right, let's see. Hopefully it doesn't make me like, all right. Okay. Maybe they got a little bit of a late start. It's an hour. Still pretty long.
Techman Dave wants to know who's good outside of Wilson and Visar from. I did give you an answer, Seth. I like Michigan in that game. I think Michigan's size is going to cause Cam a lot of issues. I'm sorry you didn't hear it.
Techman Dave. Obviously, Seth is good when he comes back. As of right now, I mean, Luka can shoot. Got some flaws everywhere else, though. But Derek Dixon is probably the third best guy on the team with Seth hurt. At least he's playing like it right now. The Derek Dixon step up has been crazy.
Luka can shoot.
Yeah.
Are we sure?
Yeah, he shot 3 of 6 against Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then I think he shot pretty well against Georgetown.
To bring his percentage up to 32?
Well, but like, it's just, he can, like, you can just see, like, even if the percentages are low, like, I guarantee he'll finish the year like probably 36 would be my guess. Because especially when Seth gets back, it's going to be easier for him.
So this is where, and I will say, like, this is where the NBA fan in me, I don't think 36% means you can shoot, especially from the college line. Respectfully.
I get it. I'm just like, I mean, the thing is, he's also in a role that I don't really think he's meant to be in right now. Like, I think Luka's so much better as the 6th man. Like, him having to play the starting role, I think it's just way better when Seth is back and he's able to just get, like, spot up. Like, Kyan is a problem, though, and not in a good way.
Kyan Anthony?
No.
I'm playing.
I wish.
I'm playing. Seth, no worries, bro. Duke has some stuff they can throw at Michigan, too. I just feel like Duke's really Cam Boozer-centric at the moment. And against Michigan, I don't think that one's going to work out. Dave Flat says, can we finally move off Purdue as the title favorites now? Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Especially from a betting odds perspective.
But like,
in the motto of the morning after show, JK got work to do, and we're 9 minutes over. So it's time to cook and get this Purdue Iowa State recap up on the channel. And we'll be back tomorrow talking about, oh gosh, we're going to have to find some stuff to talk about. Very meager slate tonight. So chat, be ready to talk and give us some topics because we're going to need it. All right, boys. See everyone tomorrow morning. We out.